What's up guys? I'm gonna do a quick unboxing of the Jiabaile, I think that's how you say it, little 143 scale RC race or drift car. This is actually my third one. I have the Porsche and the Skyline already, and I decided to get the M3 GTR, which I've been a fan of this, this BMW since the Need for Speed Most Wanted days. But yeah, I figured I'd do a quick little unboxing. So just show the outside of the box real quick. And that's all you really need to see there. And there's not a whole lot that's, inside one of these little boxes. So just do this real quick. You get your one little manual here, real simple instructions on how to turn everything on, what the radio does and stuff. So I'll put that off to the side. And here's the little M3 GTR. So the detail on these little guys is pretty good for a little 143 scale RC car. The paint job and the style of the car, everything looks good. It has, functional lights, headlights, taillights. They light up when you brake and everything. So that's nice that even a car at this scale can still have, functioning taillights and whatnot. But just headlights and taillights, nothing else, other than that. The plastic wheels that come on them are for drifting, and then they come with another set of rubber for racing. There's the little remote. It's not too bad. I mean, most of these cars usually come between like $15 to $20, depending on where you get them from. They have been going up in price, I think, because of the demand, where everybody's been, catching on about how good these things drive. So they might be going up to $25 to $30 by now. I don't know, but I got mine for like about 20 bucks with shipping. So try and make sure you don't get ripped off or anything. Look around, go to different sites and see the best deals you can get them for. But yeah, these little transmitters are, they're not a whole lot going on, but they're not that bad. They're actually, I would say, almost a little bit better than the one that came with my LDRC. Yeah, so I mean, for $20 to $40 little RC cars, you really can't expect too much out of the radios as long as they function correctly. Comes with these little cones that, like everyone else has been saying, are definitely not to scale. They're huge compared to the cars. So a nice little set of those. And then the last little bit you get in here is the USB to charge the car. There's a little lithium ion battery inside here, a 1S battery, not a 2S. So it charges with a USB plug. Just plug it into whatever USB you want, and then plug that in. And they don't take too long to charge usually, depending on what, how many amps your little charger puts out. And then the little rubber tires here, like I was saying, if you want to switch to racing, these are better for that. And it's really all there is to the inside of these boxes. There's nothing else. It's very simple. So yeah, there's 4 different models, as you saw. There was the Mustang 2, which I don't have, the Hoonigan Mustang, but I do have the Skyline and the Porsche. And the differences between all 4 it's very slight, but there is some differences. I think I've noticed that the Skyline and the BMW are basically the same exact platform, like the wheel size, the chassis. The body might be slightly bigger on the Skyline, but overall the wheels and everything look like they're the same sizes. So there's not much difference between these two. So for performance, they should be about the same. And then the Porsche is actually the one that stands out the most. It's a little bit bigger, like the body's longer and body's wider, but the chassis is the same size as the other chassis. The only difference is the wheels are actually bigger on the Porsche. So the front wheels are big, and then the back wheels are even bigger than the front wheels. So this has got 2 different size wheels, but they're actually much larger than the wheels on the Skyline and the Beamer. And I think the Mustang is the smallest one of the of the batch, but I actually don't have that one yet to really compare, but what I've heard is it's the smallest out of the 4. But it might have the same size wheels and stuff as these. I really don't know for sure. But for some reason they made the Porsche bigger, at least the wheels bigger for some reason. So this one actually does the best when it comes to drifting, and to be honest, it probably does the best for racing as well because of the wheels being bigger. You get a little bit more grip, a little bit wider stance. So overall, I feel like the Porsche probably has the best performance, but then again, sometimes these little ones can be good, maybe depending on what you want, where you're driving them, might be better for what you want. But I mean, I love the little BMW body. Like I said, I'm a fan of the Need for Speed Most Wanted Beamer, so this one just is, you know, a nostalgia throwback to the Need for Speed days. So just wanted to have this body, you know, for novelty really. I am going to be modifying these. I might keep one of them just completely stock for a family member or friend to be able to drive and, you know, race with me or drift, you know. I think I'm going to completely modify this one from scratch, where I might take the electronics out and put my own little receiver and stuff in here. I have a little 4-channel receiver I might throw in there to use a aftermarket radio. And then I might mess with the suspension a little bit and maybe even the steering angle and see how much steering angle I can get. So all 4 of these cars are actually all-wheel drive, so they don't make any of these rear-wheel drive yet. So I'm debating on actually making one rear-wheel drive to see if that drifts better, maybe even race better too. So I might, you know, try racing and drifting with rear-wheel drive. I'll just have to take out the drive shaft and then see how it drives that way. At this point in time, I do have a DasMikro V5 Gyro in here, and I will probably do a quick little video on that later on if you guys ever want to install a little gyro to help these things drift better. And it definitely made a big difference for this little guy drifting. I mean, this thing actually drifted pretty good out of the box from stock, but adding the V5 gyro in here definitely helped out even more. So I'll show a little quick video on how I did that later on. I mainly just wanted to do a quick unboxing of the BMW. All right, I'm just gonna go over the radio real quick and the functions of all the buttons. So the on and off switch is right here, and then the on button for the car is underneath. So headlights, taillights are on, and this button right here turns them on and off. And then this button up here is for the hazards. And then they have functional brake lights as well. And then this button is for the speed, obviously, for up and down. So right now, red is full power, yellow is middle, and then green is the lowest. And you push up to go back up to red. I'll start it out in full power, and then we will see how this drifts stock with nothing changed. Definitely spins out easy. Let's switch it to middle power. A little bit better. Now let's try the lowest speed. Not too bad. All right, I'm gonna show you the Porsche now with the DasMikro V5 Gyro installed. Okay, so the BMW was the stock drift setup that I just ran. Now I'm going to run the Porsche with the DasMikro Gyro installed. The V5 on full power. Not too bad. Let's try medium power. And all these cars are all-wheel drive, so they definitely drift differently than, say, like a rear-wheel drive car would drift. You kind of need more speed, and they have a bigger drifting arch, I guess you could say. Like, you need more speed to drift them. Now let's try lowest speed. I can't even get it to drift, it won't even engage. So with the gyro on, I can't even drift it in the lowest speed. So the middle speed's probably the best, but I also like the higher speed. If I really want to, drift around in a bigger space. So next I'm going to drive the Skyline with the rubber wheels on it for racing to show you how that performs, and it should be very similar to how the BMW would perform since they have the same size wheels and basically the same size chassis. So I'm going to switch to that real quick. All right, so now for the racing wheels on the Skyline. Full power to start out. Might be too fast for this little spot. And for like a 1S battery, 1S little car, this thing's pretty fast. Like, I can't even keep it on screen. Now, if you go fast around turns, it's going to hop a lot because the suspension is terrible and it's just too fast for its own good. So obviously you should probably only do full throttle on straightaways and then let off the throttle on turns, but I'm just messing around. So let's put it on middle speed. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, definitely more controllable on middle power for this size of a track. And it's got pretty good turning radius too for racing. Just wish it had rear suspension. This car would be a lot better at handling if it did, but maybe they'll do that in the version 2 if they come out with them. All right, let's put the lowest power. So yeah, if you have a really small area to drive on, then lowest power might be better for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the 143 scale cars. All three of them are very similar. I mean, the Porsche is the only one that stands out a little bit. I will be doing some mods to these cars. I will try to see what I can do about the suspension because I feel like they would perform a lot better if we could make the suspension in the rear, I mean, because there's zero suspension in the back. There's some tiny little springs in the front. Maybe I can make those a little bit stronger. But with the drifting ones, I might try to increase the steering angle, maybe make them rear-wheel drive. I mean, I might make them all rear-wheel drive because that might be better for racing as well. But I'm mainly going to be using these things for drifting. And also I have some other ideas. I might make a little FPV setup for one. I have a 1S FPV setup. I have actually digital FPV I'll try instead of using regular analog, which might be fun to see if I can set one of these up for digital FPV. But that might ask for a lot of power. Maybe I'll swap out the battery from the little lithium ion one to a slightly bigger 1S lithium polymer battery. I don't know, I'll see what I can come up with. So just stay tuned. I'll try to get some of these upgrades or mods, whatever you want to call it, going within the next few weeks here, and then I'll show you guys what I come up with. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.